and welcome to the Indie Pop Girl, the podcast where you will find music chat, new releases, hidden gems, and nostalgic deep dives. I am back with another episode, and today I'll be talking about the new releases from June. June has been a big month. We've had releases from Garbage, Miley Cyrus, which dropped right at the end of May, and Lorde just over a week ago. These have already been covered on the podcast, but we also had the debut from Addison Rae and the latest by Haim. So I am here to give you some further thoughts before the next batch of new releases come in. I've given myself a few weeks to fully digest the releases from Garbage and Miley Cyrus now, and I won't be going into too much detail as I have discussed these in my very first podcast episode. So if you want to hear my full reviews, please check out that episode. I will not be playing clips of the songs, so if you are curious, then please support the artists I cover by streaming, downloading, or buying physical copies. Thank you. So let's begin with Let All That We Imagine Be the Light by Garbage, which was released on the 30th of May 2025. I was really impressed with this on my first listen, as I didn't really connect with their previous release. I was captivated with the synth, electronic production and catchy hooks. I have returned to this record quite a few times over the course of June, and I'm still enjoying it. I've played the album through at home and in the car, and added tracks to my playlists, and even tracks such as Hold, which didn't grab me on the first listen, is growing on me. I'm probably playing Sisyphus the most, as that was the track that fully clicked and it still sounds really strong. I can't remember if I mentioned this in my previous review, but for a 10-track album, I really appreciate the length of the tracks and how Garbage let the tracks breathe and build, but not at any point you feel that the tracks are dragging, as Garbage just have the knack to progress and switch things up to keep the listener engaged. If you have not checked this out yet, then I do recommend this record. I am not sure yet if this will be included in my end of year list, so you'll just have to wait and see. Next up is Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus, which was also released on the 30th of May 2025. If you have heard my first episode covering this, then you will know how much this blew me away on the first listen. Right from the moment I hit play and going on the journey with Miley listening to this, I knew this was something special, and this record will definitely end up in my end of year list. A little spoiler, this is currently sitting in the top 3, but there are 2 other records fighting it out, so this does change, but Something Beautiful only gets better with each listen. I have played the record a lot in the car. It sounds amazing with the windows down. Walk of Fame, just fuck yes. I've also played the vinyl at home, which also sounds incredible. I have given this album time to digest, and I have sat with the lyrics, as I know I didn't capture everything fully on my initial listen. I was so wrapped up with the dreamy instrumentals and the insane production, and it was quite overwhelming in a good way. I have no idea what is going on with the critics' score on AOTY with this. I mean, are they sure they are listening to the same record? Miley has delivered the record of her career and made the art that she wants to make, and all I have read is critics just shitting all over it. I am pleased that Anthony Fantano got it right and gave Miley the review and the score that she deserves. It's difficult to pick standout tracks because this is truly a no-skip album, And the 3 tracks I have included on the Indie Pop Girl public Spotify playlist are the tracks that grabbed me on my very first listen. But tracks such as Pretend You're God, I just need to mention that Miley's vocals on the outro just give me chills, and I didn't really pick this up on the first listen, and Reborn have slowly crept up to the top of the pack. The dreamy breakdown in Golden Burning Sun is so gorgeous, and I also didn't pick this up on my first listen, but wow, the production is just stunning. If you are curious about this record, then approach this with an open mind, because Miley really has served and delivered here. My reaction to this record is why I love discovering music so much. Records that just blow you away and leave you speechless. I honestly didn't know that Miley could make something like this with intricate attention to detail, and I respect her so much now as an artist. This record is exactly what pop music needs right now, and who cares about sales and numbers? Something Beautiful in years to come will be remembered as an artistic masterpiece, bold, experimental, and will be a cult classic. I love this album so much, and I just know that it will become one of my all-time favourite records. And I will keep defending and showing the love for this, because Something Beautiful is such a special record to me already. Next up is I Quit by Haim, which was released on the 20th of June 2025. I have not covered this in any episodes, but I posted an Instagram story of my verdict of this. Any album that I don't fully cover in the episodes, I will post on social media as a mini review. So please follow me on Instagram and YouTube for more content. I am a bit surprised with the critic score of this record, as I have read a mixed response to it. I have enjoyed some of Haim's songs over the years, and I was keen to dive into this. Overall, I was a bit disappointed. I found it difficult getting through the tracks, and I think it is far too long, and if the record was trimmed back here and there, I think it would flow so much better. The only tracks that stood out to me on my first listen was Relationships and Cry. I may go back to this at some point and see if anything else stands out, but have any of you guys listened to this? I would love to know your thoughts on this, and if you have a favourite track. I would love to connect with listeners, and you can find me on AOTY website as the Indie Pop Girl. I am slowly building up my album reviews on there, so please take a look and say hello. While Haim's record left me a little cold and disappointed, Lorde delivered something much more intense and layered. So let's move on to the next release, Virgin by Lorde, which was released on the 27th of June 2025. I have dedicated a full episode to this, and I won't be giving out any spoilers here, so if you have not heard this yet, then please do check it out, because I have a lot to say about the record. I break the record down track by track and discuss the lyrics that stood out to me. I also cover the themes of the record and the production. And overall, the creation of this episode was a huge challenge for me due to the complex and dark nature of the record's themes. It is an episode that I am so proud of, and if you are a fan of Lorde, I hope that you listen to the episode, and hopefully we can have a respectful, open discussion about it. I am not going to give my verdict here. I will just say this, that I'm still processing Virgin and peeling away the layers, and it will take more time to fully digest this as there is a lot to take in. In my episode, I was only scratching the surface, so I will probably expand on my episode at a later date. It is most likely that this will be revisited towards the end of the year when I drop my favourites of 2025. The last release of June that I want to talk about is the debut from Addison Rae. Addison was released on the 6th of June 2025, and I have not covered this record yet on my podcast as I didn't think that I would have a lot to say about it, but I have been proved wrong about this record. I was only aware of Diet Pepsi and Aquamarine going into it, and I was pleasantly surprised with this. This is a lovely summery pop record, and I have been listening to this quite a lot recently. I'm going to discuss this track by track, but a more condensed version. So the record opens with track 1, New York. The production of this I didn't expect. I found it quite jarring at first, but the more I have played this, it's really grown on me and I absolutely love it now. The production reminded me of Sophie and Arca as it dabbles in hyperpop with a little bit of a Charlie XCX Brat vibe. It's really catchy and fun, and I love Addison's vocals here, especially the black car pick me up from the airport line. There's something satisfying in the way she sings that, and I absolutely love the chaotic build up to the outro, and this track is just a lot of fun. Track 2, Diet Pepsi. So this was my introduction to Addison Rae, and I am happy to report that this track does not disappoint. A lot of you out there listening, you've probably heard this track so many times, and I have played this a lot on my liked playlist and in the context of the record. Anything that is inspired by Lana Del Rey is fine by me, and I love the sultry atmosphere that Addison creates on the song. I love her soft, airy lead and background vocals, and the lyrical imagery is so descriptive, which I really appreciate. I adore the production, and to me, this is a perfect pop song. Track 3, Money is Everything. So another fun track here, and I love how cohesive everything is. Addison name checks Madonna, Lana, and Lady Gaga, and references Norma Jean, the birth name of Marilyn Monroe, in the chorus. Addison really lets go with this one, and she sounds like she is having fun vocally and sonically. The chorus is so addictive and catchy, and again, I love the production with this one. Track 4, Aquamarine. This is the second single, and I remember this dropping last summer thinking, oh, she is 2 for 2 so far in terms of singles, and my only criticism of this track is that it is simply not long enough. I could definitely be fed another 5 minutes of Aquamarine because it is everything what I love in a pop song. It's got that hypnotic quality to it for sure, and I just adore the synths and the atmospheric production. The song has got the perfect title because you can visualize a hot summer day by the pool or the beach. It is so slinky and sensual. Addison's vocals are so impressive. I love how she layers and sprinkles variety with her lead and background vocals. And I just have to mention the bridge where she sings the Give Me More line. Her falsetto drenched in reverb is so heavenly and matches the trance-like production. That synth bass in the chorus is such a nice touch. I love the attention to detail in this song. Addison, please give us an extended 10-minute version of this song. Tracks 5 and 6, Lost and Found, High Fashion. So short interlude Lost and Found works really well following Aquamarine and sets up the next track, High Fashion. The percussive clicks on this track reminded me straight away of Janet Jackson's Anytime, Anyplace. Both tracks are sensual in their sound, but here Addison tells us that she would rather get her rush from retail therapy instead of engaging with illicit substances. High Fashion took a while to grow on me, but I found that it just crept up on me and I really enjoy it now. Track 7, Summer Forever. So talking about perfect pop songs in Diet Pepsi and Aquamarine, Summer Forever is another one. I love Addison's vocal performance here. It is so effective, and when you get to the chorus, it just sounds like you have opened up the windows on a summer day with the breeze just coming in. It's so heavenly, and I would put the song in the dream pop category for sure. I would love it if Addison explores dream pop in the future because the sound suits her voice so much with the synths and reverb. This track is so sleepy and dreamy at the same time, and I absolutely love this song. Track 8, In the Rain. Another one of my favourites. I love the production and the beat of this, and the sound is right up my street here. And Addison is at it again with her soft, airy vocals. The melody of the pre-chorus is mirrored later on in the track as a piano riff, and when I heard that part on my first listen, oh my god, it just sounds so good. I love the message of this song as Addison tells us that she hides her emotions and only cries in the rain so no one will notice. I was also thinking about the Aha track Crying in the Rain, which also touches on the same theme. That is also a great track, very underrated, and I am not sure if that was the inspiration for this song here. She also references Madonna again with the strike pose line, and I love that she pays homage to the queens that have influenced her on this record. She is aware of pop culture and brings that to the record as well. And I love that when artists reference other artists in their lyrics and visuals. Track 9 is Fame as a Gun. Another banger here, and this one is so catchy and fun. I love the electro pop production with that high pitched synth that comes in. That's so creative. Addison touches on the price of fame on this track and that she has the taste of the glamorous life, which also could tie in with high fashion. Track 10, Times Like These. This one's a bit unusual with the rest of the record, as I felt that it had like a 90s trip hop feel. This didn't fully click with me on the first listen, but over time, again, it's really crept up on me and I love it now. The production's quite atmospheric and down tempo, and Addison's vocals are really lovely here. And this works really well as the penultimate track, which basically sets you up for the end of the record. Tracks 11 and 12, Life's No Fun Through Clear Waters and Headphones On. So the short interlude, Life's No Fun Through Clear Waters, which Addison references in the last track, Headphones On. Addison gets personal here and touches on her parents' divorce and uses the title as escapism for her troubles and urges the listener to do the same. I think we can all relate to the concept of this. There has been times in my life where I will turn to music for comfort. Music is present in my life anyway, but there are always certain tracks that can bring you comfort and relief during bad times, and just by putting your headphones on, you can escape and shut out the world and let the music wash over you. I was really impressed with Addison's debut. It is cohesive and the production is really impressive for a pop record. Addison worked with the same team throughout the tracks, and you can hear this in the quality and cohesion. I recommend Addison if you are after a pop rush during the summer, and I am excited to see what she does next. So that is my wrap up and further thoughts for June and what I was listening to with the new releases. I hope you do check out my previous episodes covering Garbage, Miley and Lorde, and I'll be covering more big releases, so please follow my podcast for more content. There will be new releases from Ethel Cain, Wolf Alice and Sabrina Carpenter and many more, so stay tuned. If you have been following my Throwback Friday series, I will be dropping the last episode on Friday the 11th of July. But don't worry, the Throwback Friday series will be returning, as I'm going to introduce a new series for the time being. But the throwbacks will be coming back. Don't worry, they're just having a bit of a break. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please follow me on Instagram at the Indie Pop Girl, where I'll be creating more content and mini reviews. I'm also building up my album reviews on AOTY, so come and say hello and let's talk about the music that moves us so much. If you've enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you could follow, share or leave a review, as it helps other music lovers to find the show. I've also created a public Spotify playlist and added some of my favourite tracks from the artists that I've already covered. And as the episodes grow, I'll be adding more. So if you are curious with any of the artists and albums that I have covered, please give it a listen, and who knows, you might find a new discovery. I'll be back very soon with the last episode in my current Throwback Friday series, and it's a big one. I'll be posting little hints over on my YouTube shorts, so keep an eye out for that, as I'll be giving little clues on the lead up to the episode dropping. Until then, I'm Rachel, the Indie Pop Girl. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next time.